skaters, I have the new Raldey WASP electric skateboard. Well, really, it's more like an electric mountain board. You can see that it has elements taken from Tramper, Kelly NYC, and LaCroix, but you won't pay anywhere near the price of those premium e-boards. The Raldey WASP is priced at $17.99 US, which is still quite a lot of money. However, the value you get from this electric mountain board is pretty insane. Plus, you can take an extra $10 off if you use my discount code eSkateHub, which also helps me out a bit. This e-board has been known as a few different identities. Daniel Kwan released his review back when it was called the PB Pro, which is quite the mouthful. Then they were going to release it under a different brand entirely called SKATE, but in the end, they decided on going with Raldey WASP, which I think is a great name. It's nice and simple, and it's not another GTR Pro V4S type of name. The Raldey WASP is an electric mountain board, so it's designed to ride the toughest terrains. If you want an e-board that you can take out and rip up some off-road trails, then this could be it. It's also great on roads and paved paths because it keeps you really steady and is comfortable to ride due to all of its shock absorbing technology built in. The Raldey WASP is loaded up with a 12S 4P 907.2 watt-hour battery and dual 1500 watt 6374 belt drive motors, all controlled by a Lingy VESC. So these are big specs, and they're marketed to get you a range of 35 miles or 56 kilometers and a top speed of 39 miles per hour and 62 kilometers an hour. And it's able to climb hills with a grade of 40%. Now this is insane for an e-board of this price. So I took it out for my initial ride and I ended up riding for about 11 miles, which is 18 kilometers, and I had only chewed through a fifth of the battery. I was out on a good mix of road and complex trails, so I really put the board through its paces. So to see that I have plenty of battery left after that pretty much removed my range anxiety completely. I attempted the top speed test, but I do kind of value my life, so I'm sorry, but I didn't push it to the max. I'm just not that confident enough, and as it turns out, the ground is pretty hard when you hit it. The max I reached was 28.3 miles per hour or 45.7 kilometers an hour, and that was plenty for me. There was a ton of room left in the throttle, so you crazy kids out there will have a field day with this e-board. One thing I will mention is that I didn't experience any speed wobbles, which is a great sign. The faster you go, the more likely you'll encounter speed wobbles, but a well set up board can reduce the chances dramatically. Climbing ability on the Raldey WASP is a non-issue. It hammered up my regular testing hill at about 17 miles per hour, which is 28 kilometers an hour, without any problems. I also took it up a pretty gnarly off-road incline that had a lot of protruding rocks and crevices, and I was able to finesse my way up quite easily. The deck is 38.5 inches long and made of carbon fiber, making it very flexy but durable at the same time. It has a max load limit of 661 pounds or 300 kilos, which is one of the highest I've ever seen. And considering how thin the deck is, it's quite impressive. Because of its concave and drop down shape, the standing width is 30 inches, which for me, sitting at slightly under 6 foot, is perfect. You really feel like you're locked into the board, giving you confidence that your feet aren't going to slip around, so you can spend more time concentrating on the trail and the approaching obstacles rather than constantly dipping your head down to check your feet position. The enclosure underneath has an accordion design that allows the electronics to stay protected while maintaining flexibility in the deck. It also has an IP65 ingress rating, meaning it is dust tight and can withstand a stream of water from any direction. That's pretty impressive, and by that rating, you should be able to ride it through puddles and in the rain. It has 12-inch CNC and forged MBS trucks, which aren't at all like your regular eSkate trucks. They're designed for bombing mountains, so they're really stable at high speeds. However, they have a really wide turning circle, and a big part of that is because of the part in the trucks they call the shock blocks. They're pretty much the equivalent of bushings on regular trucks. These shock blocks that come with the WASP are supposed to be 80A hardness, but they feel a lot harder than that. I'd highly recommend buying a different set of MBS Shock Blocks in either medium orange or soft yellow. They're only 30 bucks and will increase the quality of your ride experience significantly. You'll actually be able to make turns and even do some carving. I'll leave a link to those shock blocks in the description. The 200mm pneumatic wheels are great. They're nice and knobbly, which help to keep traction on off-road trails, and they also provide some shock absorption. The remote is fairly standard and one we've actually seen before. It has an LED screen that displays the battery levels for the board and remote, a speedometer, odometer, trip length, speed mode, and braking mode. Now it has 4 speed modes and 4 braking modes, reverse, and cruise control. Now something to keep in mind is that you can change the speed mode while you're accelerating and even while you're in cruise control. And the speed jumps up rapidly to match the current position of the thumb wheel in that speed mode. So when you're riding, you just need to be careful that you don't accidentally click the mode button because you could end up on your ass. Continuing on with the remote problem, it could easily be fixed by disabling that mode button while the thumb wheel is engaged and just completely disabling it when you're in cruise control mode. Aside from that, the only other issue I had with the Raldey WASP was the stiffness of the shock blocks. They're just way too hard for everyday e-skating. I mean, it's perfect for super high speed riding in a straight line, but the moment you want to go on a trail where agility is required for tight turns and dodging obstacles, the WASP just falls short. Luckily, you can fix this cheaply by yourself by getting a good set of MBS shock blocks. Overall, the Raldey WASP is a great off-road electric mountain board. The moment you replace those shock blocks, you'll have an insanely good electric skateboard that is capable of running any terrain you take it on. It's fast, has plenty of range, it's comfortable, and it seems to be pretty well built so far. I can see myself grabbing this mountain board anytime I want to hit the back trails with my dogs on the weekend. It's also just great to see brands offering more affordable options of the high-end premium e-boards. It really opens up this sport to more riders. That's it, that's my Raldey WASP review. I hope I've helped you on your journey to find the best electric skateboard that's right for you. If I have, please hit that like button and subscribe so you can stay up with the best electric skateboard reviews. Ride safe out there, e-skaters, and I'll see you soon.